Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. I'm excited about today's webinar because I actually had a lot of fun creating it and came up with some new ideas and some different ideas. And I think that you can have as much fun as I did as we work through it. So let me start with wishing you happy new year, happy new decade. And I hope you'll be joining us all this year and beyond for these free monthly webinars. So, some of the most commonly asked questions we like to get out of the way is you can check the chat box to see if there's any special messages. We get lots of requests for the deck, the slides, the PowerPoint. We don't share those. They are proprietary. They do take days and weeks and months to create, but you do get a recording. The recording is on our Facebook page next week, on our YouTube channel, on the website, and you will receive it via email because you registered. You can type your questions into the question box throughout the webinar, and we will answer them as time permits. If you should have any technical issues, you can see that you need to contact GoToWebinar, and I'm pretty sure Vonda has that in the chat box for you. So I thought we would start with a poll. I'm not sure if you all remember, but the invitation to this webinar, the announcement, talked about the fact that financial wellness means different things to different people. And that's how we kind of came to the topic of one picture is worth 1,000 words. So I would like to know which of these financial definitions or ideas or concepts represents financial wellness to you. I believe you can choose as many of them as you think are applicable. And everybody's getting started. And getting going. And we're pretty across the board. So 3/4 of you have voted. I'm going to go ahead and just give you 3 more seconds and close this poll now and share it with you. I would agree that most of these things certainly are part of financial wellness. But I also think that all of us have our own ideas and thoughts on what it is. And it's important that we understand that and work with that individually with our clients so that we're on the same page in our financial wellness client work. So let me hide that and let's get started. So no one chooses to have money problems, but most people do. For me, that's a very powerful statement and a very powerful reality. The good news is that no one can or needs to know everything or the same things about money. So that's good news. Realistically speaking, though, everyone does need to know certain things about money. So how do we make that happen? We do it by empowering financial behavioral change. You know that financial social work is a behavioral change model. It's very important that we work with clients to understand, help them understand why they are where they are and where they want to be in the future. So when we talk about change, it's not only changing the dollars and cents of clients' lives, it's about helping clients change their relationship with themselves. Because if we don't feel good about ourselves, don't experience self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, we're not as likely to put in the time and the effort to change our financial circumstances. So unhealthy relationships, whether with food or substances, people or money, they result from an unhealthy relationship with self. We need to change the conversation about money, how we talk about it, when we talk about it, where we talk about it, and if we talk about it, it's still as taboo a topic of discussion as it's ever been. And in some circumstances, that's appropriate. In others, it is not. We need to change the way we think, feel, behave, and our attitudes about money. Those thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs are what determine our financial behavior. We have to change our financial behavior. Until and unless behavior changes, nothing changes. So if we are experiencing, if a client is experiencing financial crisis, that's where the client is. But where does the client need or want to be? Well, experiencing financial well-being. But as we know, that's very much a process. And there are certain steps that need to be taken to get from here to there. And this is kind of a summary of what I just discussed with you. And it is the financial social work process. And it's about self-discovery, self-care, and self-healing. It's about how we talk about money. It's about those thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs about money, and the behavior, how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. Those of you who have been with us in the past know how important this piece of it is to me and for you and for your clients. So let's take this second poll, and then there's only one more later on. Let's see how you feel about client participation in financial wellness programs, and specifically in the programs that you offer. We think this is a really important piece, and we know that the training we're doing here today should offer you a lot of new, different, and exciting, as well as fun ways of engaging clients. So I'm going to give you a few more seconds. See if we can get you to 3/4 of people voting. We're almost there. You want to help me out? Okay. Okay, we're there. Thanks. Let's close it and take a look at it. So, of course, the reason we ask is because we know how difficult it is to engage clients. And we know from past polls and research that there's a lot of reasons for that there isn't enough time to do in-depth client work around money. And there's so many other things in clients' lives. But we do see some promise in your results here. And I'd like to think that after we finish this training, you'll have new skills and tools to bring to your client work. So a little bit about financial social work, as we've already talked, so you're already getting the feeling, if you're new to our work, that you'll see this, I think, in the next slide or two, we go beyond the dollars and cents of our relationship with our money. But we really get into the fact that it also involves our relationship with self. And sure, clients' behavior is where things, as you can see my arrow above, where things change. Financial behavioral change happens when clients' behavior changes, and that improves clients' financial circumstances. An overview of the financial social work model is that it is ongoing, experiential, strengths-based, introspective, and interactive. It involves education, motivation, validation, and support. And I hope you're not hearing the beeping that I'm hearing. I hope that stopped. Okay, so let's continue. The framework is a psychosocial approach because that's the foundation for our relationship with money and self. We come from a life cycle perspective. Money management is a core component of a healthy life and a human rights structure because everyone is entitled to financial well-being. So as I was just saying, we go beyond the dollar, cents, debt, and budgets to engage clients in greater participation. We explore the fundamentals of financial well-being, those thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs, and address the financial behavior, how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. Right here is the heart of financial social work. Because, as you can see here, and you all probably know, money is complicated. So we address the whole person with our financial health model. Our goal is to help everyone make peace with their money. So now we get to the heart of the program. One picture is worth 1,000 words. We've all heard that before. And when I came up with this concept, I found it to be, actually, in the long run, I found it to be a lot more fun than I anticipated, because we're going to be looking at some more diverse ways of doing client financial health work, financial wellness work, by engaging the more creative parts of the brain. So what do we think that looks like? Well, I'm hoping you all enjoy a little levity here. One picture can tell such a story. We know that this woman is happy. We know this young child is experiencing some form of excitement and success. We know from this picture that we're in a spot where relaxation and de-stressing takes place. To me, this picture is a negative picture, a problematic picture. This one tells of stress, sadness, depression. Soothing. Here, we just need to look and know who's happy about their circumstances and who's not. Here we know who's struggling financially and who, presumably who isn't, because we also know that lots of people do live beyond their means. We're going to begin today with one of my absolutely favorite ways of getting to know clients and engaging clients in financial wellness work. That's with vision boards. So most of us know what they are, but do you use them with your clients? Traditionally, we've been doing this free monthly webinar for many years, and for quite a few of them, we actually use January as a time to teach goal setting. But vision boards are just an excellent and alternative ways for setting goals and adding creativity to the work we do with our clients. So many different ways, so many opportunities to learn about where clients are. I had one client that I did this with a number of years ago, and she put hers on her refrigerator, and she shared with me that her husband told her that he learned more from her vision board or so many other things that he hadn't known about her from her vision board. So thoughts become things. And when we plant those seeds, there's so many ways to connect our clients to the things they want in and for their lives. And if you see it in your mind, you certainly have the potential to make it come true and hold it in your hand. So you place your vision board where you will see it daily. This instance was a refrigerator. What does it do? It does activate the creative part of the brain. It reminds clients or you, who's ever doing it, of what you want for and from your life, subconsciously connecting you to solutions for manifesting those hopes, dreams, wishes, and attracting people, resources, and opportunities you need to achieve your goal. So that takes us a little bit into the law of attraction. Now, the law of attraction is a pretty fascinating concept, and I'm going to try and get you engaged in this part of it. So let's briefly look at what the law of attraction is. It's the way in which the universe brings together similar energies and attracts shared thoughts, ideas, circumstances, and people. In other words, what you think starts a vibration that influences how you feel, and that impacts what you attract into your life. So the saying goes, we need to choose our thoughts wisely. And that's certainly an important piece of all financial wellness work. But I've never honestly been someone who has experienced the law of attraction. I really tried to think if I had a story that I could share with you. But since I didn't, I decided to share some stories of previous clients. So the one up in the left-hand corner was from someone who told me one morning, she told me that she really wanted to do something about the environment. And it turned out, this is the truth, that later that day, she was invited to be part of a planning committee for some environmental work at a university. That was pretty powerful to me. The badge takes me to a client who was struggling, but did have an apartment, but did not have a bed. And she very intentionally, she called it putting the message out to the universe. And she very intentionally did that. And someone did donate a bed to her. And one last story. Many of you probably know about our financial social work certification. And I had someone tell me how very much she wanted to take the certification. And she did it more in the form of prayer than law of attraction, but she put that message out to the universe, and she did receive the funding to take the certification. So those are my stories. Do any of you have some stories about your law of attraction experiences? If you do, go ahead and put them in our question box, and Vonda will share those with us when we get to the end of the webinar. So why a vision board? Well, it does have a lot of potential to help clients clarify and simplify, reduce self-sabotaging behavior, begin to take back control of their lives, provide a different perspective, and recognize, so very importantly, they already are enough, have enough, and do enough. So from vision board, we go to mind mapping, another very visual and creative way of engaging clients that helps problem solve, connects information that might not ordinarily be considered to work together. It focuses on a central theme. In this little example here, it's about money and checking, different kinds of, it's a good money example, a very simple one for mind mapping. It's a diagram that organizes ideas and offers creativity by combining words and pictures. And it is a visual representation. It can be, not in this particular example, but it can be a representation of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. So we have an example here of starting in the center with a colorful image to represent the subject and drawing out the various lines. It can be as much or as little as either your time allows or the person is interested in doing. It can be fun and incredibly creative. So it can be simple, it can be more involved. Of course, we're looking particularly at the one on the right. This one gets into numerous different financial pieces. And this one definitely has a great deal going on. There are online programs where you can do mind mapping, or you can just do it the old-fashioned way, paper, colored pencils, markers. So that was mind mapping. Then we go to financial self-care. So what is financial self-care? It's paying attention to the financial component of your life. It isn't massages or soaks. All those can be certainly part of it, but it isn't about spending money for self-care. It's about understanding that when it comes to your financial future, no one cares more about it, benefits or struggles as a result of it more than you, and no one is as capable as you of taking control of your money. And that rest of that usually for me is about and then gaining control of your life. Very important piece, certainly within the helping professions that we're all in. A lot of conversations and different types of self-care, but not much address to financial self-care. So 3 basic steps to financial self-care: accepting responsibility for the financial component to your life. Here we go, back with those relationships, healing your relationship with your money and yourself, and actualizing financial well-being. I mentioned early on that we've been doing these free monthly webinars for many months. I do believe we did one on financial self-care. You could either find it on our website or our YouTube channel, where we went more into depth on these 3 steps to financial self-care. We also have 20 self-care principles, and we've used those in various ways through the years. So I just picked a few. Vonda, who is on the call with us and is our consultant, and right, left, and every other hand and foot, marvelous person to work with. She designed the graphics for these very beautiful representations, specifically of the financial self-care principles. So you can see, practice self-acceptance. And it's true, all personal and financial change does begin with accepting yourself as you are, because that allows you then to become the person you want to be, and forgiving yourself for past financial neglect. So we learn from past money lessons to create a better financial future. We need to know that there is always hope. And what others think of us is none of our business. We can't live our lives concerned about what other people think. And we need to believe that we do deserve financial well-being, because we do. So that is part of financial self-care. And it's something that only each of us can give to ourselves. But one way to improve the likelihood of practicing financial self-care is certainly by buddying up and sharing that journey with someone you trust. And of course, that's called an accountability partner. So I wish I had more time to go more in depth on all of these topics, but I hope that they are inspiring you to want to practice some of them in your client work. So we go on to inspiration, to poems and quotes. Inspiration helps keep people motivated and engaged, especially with financial behavioral change. And this is definitely one of my favorite poems. I'm going to share a few of them. And my favorite part in this is we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Very powerful words to me. So sharing favorite poems and quotes is meaningful to clients, and I know that for an absolute fact. Also, you can have clients find and share their own poems and quotes with you. Make collections of them, make booklets out of them, because positive messages reframe attitudes in so very many helpful ways. And this is from 1970, but again, for you cannot live in someone else. You cannot find yourself in someone else. You cannot be given a life by someone else. To the questions of your life, you are the only answer. to the problems of your life. You are the only solution. I've used these to inspire and motivate myself as well as clients. And this is the mantra that I created for financial social work. And it goes, just for today, I will love myself enough to face my fears, practice self-acceptance, and embrace hope. Just for today, I will silence my inner critic, speak my truth, and make peace with my past. I will give myself permission to eliminate toxic people, beliefs, and behaviors from my life. And just for today, I will prepare for a better tomorrow by making friends with my money and with myself. So what these tools are about is engagement with clients, exciting them about financial wellness work. And it's Benjamin Franklin's quote here, and it's so true. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. And that's what we want to do. We want to actively involve clients in their own financial health. And the reason that these creative financial wellness approaches work are because they're non-threatening, inclusive, and very dynamic. They're more powerful than any survey or form you could create. They provide an ongoing awareness and involvement, and that's what's required to help everyone achieve sustainable behavioral change, because it is so fluid and ongoing. Creative financial wellness approaches benefit clients by helping they motivate, help. They do achieve a higher level of engagement. We want to assist our clients in making peace with their money. This isn't a negative force in their lives. When you see something as bad or negative, you avoid it. You don't get involved with it. So it's about making peace with your money and accessing that inspiration and motivation to keep you excited and keep you going. And we practice internal dialogue and self-reflection. There's so much more going on when you read those quotes or make those vision boards or do the mind mapping. So many things happen. There's absolutely no one better way to truly discover what's going on in your client's life than through these more creative efforts. And bottom line on all of this is that they all help to improve the client's relationship with money and with themselves. And that's the only way to really make a difference when it comes to financial health. And for us on our end, by providing an opportunity to learn a client's thoughts, feelings, attitudes, and beliefs, that's what's happening here. And it happens in ways not available with any other method. We go on to journaling, another very creative outlet, one of my favorites, and one that really resonates for clients. So personal journey provides a place, a space, and a method for exploring thoughts and feelings less judgmentally. Oh, that little critic in our heads is always judging everything. But when we put it on paper, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but I certainly have, as I start writing and I have no idea that that's what I was going to say. It's pretty fascinating. It's certainly a part of the process of creating these webinars, and this one in particular. It helps clients learn, the journaling helps clients learn more about themselves, gain insight and clarity on their issues and experiences, and connect the mind, body, and soul more deeply and honestly. Journal writing is a voyage to the interior. So there's certainly lots of different ways to journal. It is a way to view yourself externally rather than internally, and to consider whether your thoughts and doubts and concerns and self-criticism are valid, timely, or accurate. There is no right way or wrong way to journal. There's only the way that works best for you. So putting your thoughts into words can reduce or relieve stress, can calm and center you, improve self-esteem, provide perspective, help you to move through life transitions, discover what you really want, cope with interpersonal conflicts, cope with grief, illness, and trauma, and it can reduce some symptoms of depression, getting things out instead of keeping things in. And this is why it works. It helps you tap into your greatest resource, which is yourself. And it can help you to recognize that you really do know more than you thought you did. That's what happens when we engage in more creative exercises, activities. So lots of journaling prompts on any topic you want, and your journal can be an extension of a vision board. I actually meant to photograph a couple of not really journals, but books that I created as gifts in the past, using words and pictures and stickers that addressed who the people were that I was giving those gifts to. Again, lots of prompts. You can find them anywhere or come up with your own. So as we start to wind down, so we have time to take your questions, here's our last poll to see which of these methods you think you would be interested in trying with your clients. Well, I'm glad to see that you're voting, and I hope at the end some of you shared some law of attraction stories or other ways you may have used these materials yourself in your work. Okay, so we have 3/4 of you have voted, and we will go ahead and close this and share it. Well, I'm certainly really happy about the financial self-care. If we only could understand that taking care of ourselves financially is really at the heart of everything else that's going on in our lives. You seem to prefer the more visual aspects of what we've discussed today, and I can certainly understand and appreciate that. Don't underestimate the poetry and the quotes. Our students and graduates across the country and around the world often tell me how the posters and quotes and poetry that they share or have in their offices makes such a difference to clients and can contribute to a discussion of those motivational and inspirational pieces. So we will go ahead and I will tell you the program that we created called My Money Myself that incorporates so many of the things we've just discussed, and of course, a lot more. It is called My Money Myself, and it is a 12-month program to transform your relationship with money and with self and empower you to create financial wellness. It is a 12-month all-inclusive and immersive financial wellness program. It's interactive, includes a monthly coaching group, a private Facebook group, and recognition, and of course is all about financial healing and wellness at the rather ridiculous cost of $39. It's a lot, it's exciting, and it works. I wanted to share that with you and to let you know that it's perfect for individuals, clients, as follow-up to support groups, and for organizations and companies without financial wellness programs. And these are just a list of the kinds of situations that people experience and could benefit from our program. And this is what it includes: 12 monthly issues, very comprehensive interactive experience with a downloadable issue each month, with new financial content, self-examination exercises, self-reflection assessments, and a monthly contract for change, which is a form of goal setting. And you won't be surprised to know that it has a journaling section. And we do a monthly lunch and learn coaching session. And it's just another form of engagement. And we've had some great response. We can see you and you can see us. And we have a lot of things going on. We do self-reflection. We have a teaching segment, and it's really special. The next group coaching session is next Tuesday, and always includes a handout. And the private Facebook group has contests, questions, lots of articles, and motivation. So that is My Money Myself. So we're going to go ahead and start the Q&A. But first, I wanted to tell you about next month's free webinar. It's called What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do with Your Money. It's going to be pretty special. We have a great guest speaker, and there will be terrific handouts with it. And on that note, I will ask Vonda if we have some questions or some law of attraction stories or anything else that our attendees want to share with us.
Hey, Rita.
Hi.
I enjoyed that webinar.
I do too.
I'm a visual, I'm a right brain person, and I just love creative work. I love doing vision boards. So we do have comments for the law of attraction. So it's someone said that they assume good things will happen as far as the law of attraction. And then we had, let's see if I can get back here. Okay, so this is a story. I was working in the big city, that's in quotes, but would come home to my childhood small town during holidays and such. Be careful of what you put in writing, LOL. So I was standing at my mother-in-law's front window and looking out over a large vacant field and snapped a picture. I then, let's see, I lost my spot. I then saved it to my phone and labeled it home. My circumstances changed much later and now find myself living on that large plot of land and will be here for the rest of my days. Good thing I didn't snap a picture of a town dump or something. It's beautiful here and much different than the past life. So I think that's a really good example of the law of attraction.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. We have someone that said the financial social work mantra is lovely. Kudos.
Thank you. A lot of thought and time went into it, right, Fonda?
Yes. Yes, that is a Rita, the financial social work mantra I know is no part of the Facebook groups. And also I I I also think you have it on your blog with the letter the
Oh,
open
you're right.
message. Yeah.
You're
So it
right.
is available on our website.
We sent
Let's
out,
see.
we sent out a blog newsletter to
Hmm.
everybody in our community. Um, I think on Monday or Tuesday, and we had that in it if you received it. But it's also posted as a blog post on the website.
Yes. Here's a question about my money myself. So someone wants to know if their organization purchased My Money Myself program for clients. Could they still coach or facilitate the material, or would the client be expected to work alone?
It's an interesting question. I think that you have to come at that from the fact that if you join today, you get the first issue today, and then you get the next one on the first of every month. So if you were working individually with clients, you have it's a great question actually, Rhonda. You have a wealth. Oh my God, such a wealth of discussion. Wow, I love that question. I should have thought of this. There's so much material that you can discuss with the client. I mean, we do have that component uh, of the reflection questions and the journaling, and then all the content that is in it. So that's yes, yes, and yes. You know, if you were doing it in a group, it might be more difficult if everyone didn't start at the same time. But we do have organizations buying it for clients. It's, change doesn't happen overnight, it happens over time. And people don't get into financial trouble overnight. So it takes time. And it took us time to identify how to create what I really felt was an all inclusive and immersive program. We can't, you know, I understand. I started creating financial social work 23 years ago. So when nobody was even talking about it. But today, if you're lucky, I know you may be able to do something, for 3, 6 weeks in the way of a program. But then what happens? So it just takes time. And we have all these ways through our Facebook group, our monthly coaching group, and the content and the reflection and the journaling. So we've got it all in that program. And I hadn't necessarily thought about what a great asset that would be, um, if you wanted to do that work with your clients and use that as your guide. It's almost a guide, right, Vonda?
Definitely. So I'm gonna just kind of continue because I had a couple of questions come in about the cost, Rita. And so I'm just gonna kind of read them. Let's see, kind of right back to back. So someone wants, so is it $39 for the organization or $39 per person? And then someone else asked pretty much the same question, just worded a little differently. Is the My Money Myself cost $39 total or per month?
Total. I know. Bond and I can't believe it either, but we needed to find a way to make financial wellness accessible to as many people as possible. Those of us who see clients may be able to offer some form of, you know, financial wellness program to those clients, but I'm sure we almost all of us know someone, family, friend, colleague, who has financial struggles or problems and wouldn't qualify for the programs offered in our agencies. So $39, I mean, you divide 12 months into $39, it's like $3 and change a month. You get to interact with me and Vonda alive, virtually, and be part of a Facebook group where we offer all that motivation, inspiration, and information. And you have these beautiful interactive workbooks. So it's a lot.
So Rita, back to the My Money Myself, because there are the questions that are coming in. So if we were working with clients, would we order just one monthly subscription, correct? And they're a financial coach, and then someone else asked, can I get the program and use it with my clients? So the $39, the cost of the program actually covers an entire year or 12 issues.
Right. Okay, it's 30. It's a good point. Should say $39 per person. It's meant for each client to have his or her own issue. It is definitely not meant for you to print it and make copies and hand out to clients. That if we charge what the rate it should be, it would be at least 10 times that cost. So if a client is working the program, because it includes the client being able to attend the coaching session, the client being part of the Facebook group, and it has a recognition component also that I didn't go very much into here. So it is, meant for. I mean, yesterday we had a health agency buy 5 of them for clients. That's what it's for.
So I'm glad you mentioned the coaching, because there's another question that came in, and they asked, if I use the My Money Myself to facilitate my group, would my clients be able to attend the monthly coaching too? So I think you just answered that, Rita. It's
If all of
it's
the
per
if
person if you do
right.
the coaching.
So if you had 8 or 10 people in your group, but it is a monthly program. So, and it's intentionally spaced that way because it is a process, because change is a process. And we ask people using the program, to take advantage of everything that's included. And if everyone in the group purchased the program, they would all be going through it individually, but you could then use it, but it would be a monthly group, not a weekly group. The other piece of that, there was another piece we do have a support group program on the website. You can purchase a support group packet with a guide to support groups and a 100-page client workbook. That's not what this is. This is kind of an individual journey that can certainly, be used. You could use it to working with your client. I would see it more as it's the client's program, and the client, if you met with him or her individually, you could work with that client around the content and what they journaled about, the goals they set, all these different pieces.
Okay, I have a comment. I want to say thank you for the program. I changed my life and my clients. Now I sell game, I buy stock, and within 3 months I'm going to buy a second house. And this change started with the certification and my money and myself. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm about to cry. That means more to me and that's why we do this. That's why we will offer something. There's nothing anywhere at any price that remotely resemble this. And it's called My Money Myself because money is such an important piece of who we are, regardless of whether we know or understand that. So it means a lot to us, and I really appreciate that feedback as far as the certification. We are often told how it changes people's lives and their clients' lives. And that's why I've spent 23 years of my own life on these materials. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're still here to hear me.
I have another comment. Someone said, I use poems and quotes a lot already, which is why I selected something else when you ask what we wanted to implement going forward. So I guess it sounds like that they have used that, but they were looking to take a different direction. Is that fair to say?
Oh, I want to hear what it is. What is it? What is it? Are you still here? We're always open to hearing what you're doing, what your ideas are, what's working for you.
We also had, I think a couple people wanted to know, where could they get the journal topics? I'm guessing like the journal prompts and mind mapping, like how to.
Now, this is a very deep, dark secret, so don't don't tell anyone else. All you have to do is go to, you probably could just Google journal prompts, but if you go to Google Images, you will find tons of prompts. But if you really stop and think about it, depending on, if you're doing financial wellness work or in other areas of your work, if we're talking about journaling, there are so many wonderful ways to journal, and you can adopt and adapt the area that you're working on. If it's depression, if it's anxiety, you can use things like describe your anxiety. What does it look like? What does it feel like? If it were a color, what color would it be? But you don't have to do that. There are tons of prompts out there. But I encourage you to, come up with some of your own, based on the work that you're doing.
Let's see, somewhat, and I know we're right at 3:02, but we did have a few more that
Oh, I'm
came
having
in right at
so
three
much
o'clock.
I'm having so much fun. I'm not stopping if they're staying, I'm staying.
So someone said that is good. Could the young lady share the stocks and how she plans to get another house? I'm also interested in participating in the program so that I can teach others how to become financially fortitude. So I'm not sure that we have a way that that person can really share that information on this particular platform.
Well, one thing, Vonda, last month, um, not last month, actually, it was November. Last year, um, we did a webinar. I don't remember. Okay, it was when we introduced My Money Myself. Um, and I told a story. So it's on that recording of a graduate of ours who had posted on Facebook last
Mm-hmm.
summer the
Mm-hmm.
story. And it's true, when she came to me, she didn't have money for food. And now it's going back a lot of years, but then I didn't know she was going to write this on Facebook and that, but I do know that she changed her life, and she talked about her and her partner. I think maybe they own 3 homes now. She barely could afford rent, um, to live in one room when we started working together. So this is work that does change lives, and it's very exciting to see. We don't always get to see how it turns out. I didn't know all of that about the client who posted that, but I talk a lot about in my trainings and that about the fact that we plant seeds. We plant seeds. So by having a client have this program and use it and write about it and keep it, it is a baseline that clients can return to in the future. It gives them the opportunity, even in a 1 day training or a 2 day training at a conference, wherever. Um, we plant those seeds. We don't know when they will take root, but we do. All of these suggestions, all of these more creative opportunities I put out there today. Um, I don't know when or if you'll use them, but I do know that they work, and I wanted to share them with you. And unless you decided to let me know what you did with them or share a picture or something, I just hope, and that's why we do these free webinars every month and have speakers on topics that we think can help you change your lives, as we all try to help clients change their lives. We plant those seeds.
Well said, Rita. There is someone that is asking, is the monthly program at a certain time, or can it be done at your own convenience?
The monthly workbook drops on the first of every month. It's like a magazine issue. Picture it as a magazine issue. It's not filled with ads or um, stories or a lot of pictures. It's content, asks a lot of questions, and should be something that you could complete within a month's time and integrate into your life. And the coaching group is optional, and we love doing it. We do it at noon, either on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or Thursday. And you log online, and we use the platform, we use Zoom, and we can see you and you can see us, and we talk and share, and of course we teach. Um, so it's in addition to uh, the content that comes with the workbook. So it's
So I'm Rita, and I don't mean to cut you off because I
go
know time
ahead.
is getting away, because we did have someone earlier. I think that the confidentiality, you know,
Issue.
yeah, would be well, they wanted to know if they couldn't make the session, would it be, recorded? And I know that we're not recording it now, and I just thought that you could also maybe talk a little bit about the confidentiality part of it.
Well, it's optional. So if someone actually, you remember last month, Vonta? Okay, so we did create this with clients and consumers in mind. I would say that most of the people that belong right now to My Money Myself are professionals. And at last month's session, one professional raised that issue of confidentiality, and we ask that everything about the program be kept confidential. Is it going to meet a HIPAA requirement? No, it's not a HIPAA approved anything like that. It's an optional voluntary opportunity, and so if people want to participate, they can choose to, or
And it is a working session, so you actually go in and you there's hands-on in which you will do an activity during that coaching session. So there's a couple of components. I just want to throw that in there, Rita.
well, thank you, because if anybody knows, you do. It's it's good stuff. We think so anyway. Anything else, Vaughn?
We did just have someone that says people are always surprised I use poems and journaling during my workshop. They think it's about numbers, and they also said they love your approach.
Well, thank you, and thank you for doing those things. Uh, I I just love that we have the opportunity to do that. I love being a social worker, and I love everyone that works in the helping fields. When I started this, there was no such thing as financial social work, or no one was really talking about money. And we did a webinar a couple months ago on money and mental health. And actually, for social work and Women's History Month in March, we'll be looking at financial behavior again. So we do lots of interesting things, and we have the ability to do that. Not always the time, but if we want to do it, there are ways of doing it. So, yay for the person who shared that.
Well, one more, I guess maybe we can kind of close it out. And someone said that I didn't realize how bad my relationship with money was until I took the FSW certification. Thank you for creating the program. It has definitely changed my life and my finances. Someone says, thank you so much, Rita and Vonda. Your webinars are always so good, and I look forward to them. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. That means so much to us. That's why we do what we do. I hope we'll see you back here next month, because that should be a really good and different and interesting webinar with good handouts that we all love to get. And so have a beautiful rest of the day, and thanks for joining us. Bye now.